It's at this point that Paul is executed somewhere between 62 and 67 AD, and then Peter is executed sometime between 63 and 68 AD. We'll say 60, actually 64 is more accurate of a timeline. It's more likely that Paul is executed earlier, or at the very least, that Mark is not present for Paul's execution later, right? Because actually I should have added something to the timeline here. Instead of Paul's execution, which doesn't matter as much, we're going to put Paul's second arrest, which occurs around that time. The reason that's significant is we have Paul mentioning Mark in Colossians and Philemon, but he does not mention him in some later writings like Titus and 2 Timothy, which are believed to be the last couple of things that Paul wrote before he was killed. But Paul does mention other people that he's traveling with. So it's unlikely then that Mark is with Paul at this time. So he likely stays with Peter just before Peter dies. So why is it significant that Silvanus writes the first epistle? Well, let's put it this way. If you were to hire me to translate something for you or to write something for you, and we are in the process of writing it, it would not make sense for you to go out and hire a second translator to then write for you. This is important because if Mark is writing in 61 AD for Peter, if he is interpreting for Peter, then it doesn't make sense for him to have Silvanus write the first epistle. Why would he switch translators in the middle of his process of writing? He being Peter. Peter, by his own testimony, says that Silvanus is the one scribing for him in 1 Peter. Are we then supposed to assume that the Gospel of Mark is written at the same time by a different person, also in Peter's services, but it's still Peter's testimony, right? That doesn't make sense. Why is Peter communicating to one translator one thing and then a different translator for another project that he's working on? And why not just use the same guy to translate both?